Hello, someone out there? There's Inez. Hey, Inez, how you doing? I'm testing the newly refurbished machine to make sure that it's going to work tomorrow night. So I'll be on for a few minutes just to make sure, but you're hearing me okay and seeing everything? It's Deb. Hi. This is a test to make sure the newly rehabbed machine is going to work. Vanessa. All right, good. We're hearing everything. Good. I did some testing with Margaret Hatcher, who is tomorrow night's guest, and had to sign in and everything earlier today. And so I just needed to make sure that the machine is working well. So this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Yep. So Jennifer and me tomorrow night with Margaret, and she's got some beautiful samplers, high-level stuff, and yeah, it's pretty impressive. So that'll be tomorrow night, and then Sunday we'll have the video we did with Allison Cole and her husband, and that will be that's impressive, amazing stuff. So yep. Good. The machine's working. We like that. Yeah, I didn't. The machine was, I think, in worse shape than I realized, and it's performing a lot better now. I'm working on. Here, I'll move the camera a little bit if I can. Probably tear up everything. I'm working on Gann Rogers, the Lady Mary geometric. So just getting going on the middle here. Hey, Kathy. So we're working on that, working on a sampler, and trying to stitch a little bit every day. That's my new mission, is every day at least do something. So I've only missed like a day or two. There was one night just before I went to bed, I came upstairs and put 2 stitches in just to keep the string going. So, yep. So we're going to get the cross stitch and needle point going at the same time. That's what we're going to do. Hey, I had a couple of things. We got a number of people here. I had somebody comment that she felt that especially our Wednesday shows, ooh, Deb's retiring at the end of the month. Oh man, go Deb, go. Oh. We had a friend who just retired at the end of December, and she was a working maniac. We thought that she would have some withdrawal. She said, not for a minute. Nope, none whatsoever. So hope the same for you, Deb. You quit and you're done with it. Finished. Yep. Had a lady did a post that she felt like particularly the Wednesday shows were just the same stuff over and over and over again. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it did raise a question, and if there's stuff that you'd like any of us to talk about, let us know. You know, give send an email or something and say, hey, can you talk about this or that? Excuse me. But let us know, because we talk about what interests us or what we're doing, but yeah, let us know if there's something you'd like us to talk about or find someone to talk about. 32 years. Whoa, Deb. Yep. Time to quit. You're done. So, yeah, so let us know. And then another thing we're talking about, if any of you are interested in doing it, is doing, I've said that we stay away from floss tube, talking to stitchers like us, because there's people who do that. Well, the more I see, the less I see people doing that. I don't see anybody really doing it anymore. There was a couple people doing it with some regularity, and they just seem to have quit. And I think there's interesting things to learn from stitchers just talking. So we're talking about doing little 15-minute uh, podcasts or videos. We haven't decided yet with regular, just stitchers like us. So if you're interested in being a guinea pig, send me an email and let me know. And we want to do a couple, 3 tests before we really go into it whole hog. But I think it would be fun to just do short little things with stitchers and see what people are doing, how they got started, what their interests are, that kind of thing. And not floss tube, not just cross stitch, but whatever, doesn't matter. So if you're interested in being a guinea pig up, and doing one of these short little things, it's really easy. There's nothing tough to getting in technology wise, nothing tough at all. So just send me an email and we'll do 2 or 3 to start out. So let us know. Yep. Hey, Vicky. For those who joined after the initial moments, um, I'm testing out. This is not planned, and I'm not going to be on very long. But just testing out the newly refurbished machine to make sure that it's behaving, so that it'll be good tomorrow night when Margaret Hatcher is on with us. And I tested with her today and had to re-sign into YouTube and do a bunch of things that I was not expecting to do. So thought I'd better get on here live and make sure that the thing is going to feed the way it's supposed to and people can hear, and it looks like all that's working. So that's why we're doing this tonight. So 8 o'clock tomorrow night is the stitch hour, and Margaret Hatcher, some beautiful samplers, some pretty sophisticated stuff. You don't want to miss it. It's really gorgeous stuff. And yeah, it's gonna be a nice conversation. And remember now, this is the second week of our new schedule, so there won't be a podcast tomorrow, but there will be the Stitch Hour, and then next week, and Jennifer will be with me tomorrow night. Then next week, Jennifer and I will have a podcast, but there won't be a Stitch Hour. So we'll just alternate like that, and just trying to lighten up. And one of the reasons to take out one of those things is if we do these little short stitcher to stitcher uh, recordings, then that frees up some time for that. It's like it's supposed to have freed up some time so things aren't so crazy, but it just seems like that's something we could offer is stitcher to stitcher conversations. So we're the time it was freed up will get sucked up now doing these if they fly and if people are interested in them. So whatever, it's fun, doesn't matter to me. So yeah, tomorrow night at the Stitch Hour, 8 o'clock Eastern time on the YouTube channel right here. Same thing. Subscribe. With this change in the schedule, subscribe so that you get notifications. Subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on to the podcast through a podcast app, and that way you'll get notified when we do things, and you won't miss out. Everything's recorded, so you can always catch it on the backside. But uh, either way, at least you'll know, and you won't miss something. Cindy says, "What time zone am I?" Central, St. Louis Central time zone. Yay, Vicky. We'll be glad to have you. Yeah, Central time zone for me. Oh yeah, coming up here in the next couple 3 weeks, the new Cotton and Color store, cross stitch store, um, in St. Louis will be opening. Excited about that because we have 2 painted canvas stores, which are nice and they're a good place to get threads, but threads for needlepoint. So some of the other threads are just not available, and then of course linens and stuff are simply not something they have any interest in. Um, so it'll be good to have that. And the dangerous part is that the color and cotton store will be about 3 miles from me. Like I could walk it, so I'm gonna have to control myself, I think. Yeah, dangerous. Hmm. Um, yeah, yeah, I'll be watching my P's and Q's here. Yep. So tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and then if you have ideas, things you'd like us to talk about, let us know. If you'd like, more black work, more gold work, more cross stitch, whatever, let us know. And if you're interested in being a guinea pig for our idea, Stitcher to Stitcher, I think that's what we're going to call it. Fiber Talk Stitcher to Stitcher, a little 15-minute, 20-minute, they'll be 20 minutes. There's no way 15 works. If you want to be a guinea pig, let me know, Gary at WeTalkFiber.com, and we'll put you on the list and do some testing. So easy to do, and there's no prep on your end. You don't have to do anything. I think we're going to have maybe a standard 4 or 5 questions that we'll use as a framework, and but that'll just be to guide the conversation when we do interviews with designers and other people. We send a whole list of topics, and we rarely get all of them in. We actually probably get about half in. They're just guides, so probably do the same kind of thing with 4 or 5 questions, just to make it easy for you to know what kinds of things we want to talk about. Vanessa, Marga needs to take your credit cards away from you when you leave the house. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get the spouse eye roll from time to time. Yes. Yeah, yeah. It's I got it in my closet here across the way. I keep those doors closed because all the stuff gets thrown in there. I got to put there's no shelving in there. And that's the next project, is to put a bunch of cubbyhole shelving in there because everything's just kind of piled up. And Margaret looked in there today and she says, "Oh, you better get some shelves built pretty soon here because things are going to start falling over." And because I got so many people have been kind enough to contribute things to give away, so I've got several boxes of that now. It's been really great, and now we'll start, not tomorrow night, but afterwards we'll start giving things away. Inherited, good to have you with us. But yeah, there's a bunch of that, and then I've got too many of my own things, so got to get some shelves built in there, and then yeah, yep. So I don't know much else. We're gonna join us tomorrow night. Some beautiful sampler stuff. Yeah, pretty sophisticated stuff. High-end stitching, multiple stitches, not just cross stitch. Um, she sent a couple pictures of her wall of samplers, and that was pretty mind-blowing. I don't think I have one of those, but to show. But then we have, I think, 10 or 12 samplers that we'll talk about tomorrow night. So be sure and join us for that. And then Sunday will be different. I'm going to do a calyx. Okay, I'll look for that. Okay. I'm going to do a short podcast so that there'll be something on the podcast apps. But Sunday's show, it will be a video. It'll be on YouTube with Allison Cole, and I'll put it on the Fiber Talk page. But I'll do a podcast, just a short one, so you'll have something in the app to remind you why there isn't an hour-long interview. So if you use the app for the podcast, you'll get a reminder that way. But you'll have the video is a better part of an hour with Allison Cole and her husband, and it's all about her caskets, her new caskets. I'm waving this needle around like I'm going to hurt someone here, but and Steve is the one who designs and cuts the wood and built the actual base, the casket base. So it was really interesting to hear from him how he went about that. And it was over the course of, I don't know, several years that he worked on this to get it just right. And it's very interesting what he did. And then when you look at the caskets, everything doesn't line up. And first time I saw one, I thought, wow, that's not so sure that's good, until he explains, and I'm going to ruin part of it, but he explains that things have to hang over and overlap because they have to accommodate, have space for the stitching on the sides and the top. And so when you get the stitching in and the base cloth, the ground cloth and everything, then everything evens out. So he's calculated all that so that when Allison actually puts the material on and the needlework, then the casket finishes out the way it's supposed to. So it's a fascinating thing how he put that. If you never do a casket, it doesn't matter. It's just fascinating. And of course, listening to Allison all day long, but really had a lot of fun talking to her. And she's in Australia, we're in the States here, so their mouths don't match up with the sound. It got out of sync somewhere over the ocean, but it doesn't matter. You get to see everything, and it's fantastic. And then when you're watching that video, look beyond, because we're in her studio. She has a special extension off the house that is her studio and classroom. So be sure and check that out in the background. I should have had her pan the camera around, but she has just a beautiful place with all windows, and it's just gorgeous. They live out in the hinterlands, so there's kangaroos there all the time. If you follow her, she puts up pictures all the time. So be sure and check that out. What are you saying here, inherited? I think I will get a big chest of drawers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a bookcase in there. I got to get stuff up in the air. I've got probably 5 feet of space above for walls that I can put cubby holes and stuff in, so I'm going to do it that way. And but I will check out this calyx thing, see what that's like. Maybe I can mount that on the wall, because I want it up high. I need to store stuff and get it out of the way. It's piled up. Yeah, tough problem to have. That's all I know. I see. Yeah, just wanted to check it out. So I haven't heard anybody complain. So sound and video must be fine, which is what I wanted to make sure, and that it would feed to YouTube. So when this is done, if you guys are seeing it, then it's feeding there. So I just got to make sure that the recording happens. And so I think I'll sign off, and join us now tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, on right here, same place. And if you want to be a guinea pig for our new Stitcher to Stitcher series, let me know. And be sure and catch the video this Sunday with Allison Cole. Still trying to get something worked out with the new editor of Needlepoint now. Hope to do that next week. And getting some other people lined up. Beth and I were recording our brains out in December, trying to get ahead, November and December, trying to get ahead. And I thought I had a bunch of them. And then I sat down yesterday to see how many weeks I had left of recorded shows, and discovered that I have Sunday. That's what I have. So next week we'll be recording 2 or 3 just to get ahead again as soon as I get them scheduled. So yeah, that's the way it goes in the podcast world. All right, I'm going to check out. Thanks to everybody for signing on here and being part of the little test. And hope we can see you all tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and for the Stitch Hour. And yeah, that's it. All right, I'm going to check out. Bye, everybody. Thanks.